Are there any sleepers you're watching from the transfer portal? Yes, 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 and yes. I've got 4 of them. I want you to write these names down because these are big ones. These are going to be impact players. Cameron Ward is the first one. He's a quarterback. He's from Incarnate Word, and he is now going to play his college football at Washington State. Why don't you know anything about him? The first clue is Incarnate Word, admittedly. The second reason is when he came out of high school, he ran triple option offenses. And so he had one offer, he took it, but then he became he was the top FCS freshman in 2020. He led FCS in touchdown passes last year, and now he goes to Washington State. And here's a little cherry on top that I don't think many people are aware of. His head coach at Incarnate Word went with him. He is now also the offensive coordinator at Washington State. So there's some familiarity there. You've got a guy who, although maybe raw, especially relative to the Power 5 level, is viewed as a potential NFL guy down the road. Hardly anyone knows about him aside from diehard college football fans. So if you're wanting to look out west, especially at a more obscure program, all due respect, and you're wanting to sound really smart around that water cooler, talk about Cameron Ward over the next few weeks. Because there will be an I told you so moment, several of them, as a matter of fact, this fall. Cameron Ward, that's the first one I'm looking at. Second, Eric Gentry. Linebacker, just went to Southern Cal by way of Arizona State. He was 6'6", 200, coming out of high school. He was in Philadelphia. So he was a 3-star in our rankings only because he didn't have the prototypical size, and he probably missed out on a lot of big offers because folks looked at him as more a project. You're going to have to put some weight on him, probably not going to play until his second or third year. Well, all he did was garner true freshman All-American award honors last year at Arizona State. At linebacker, he had 45 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, had a sack. Now he's going to USC. You know what they need at USC? They don't need any more receivers. They do need difference makers on defense, and Eric Gentry is going to be one of those. They added Shane Lee from Alabama too, so I'm really interested to see what their linebacking core looks like. He could be an edge guy. He could be an inside linebacker. It just all depends on how it shakes out there. But he's got some versatility about himself. He's also got probably a much higher ceiling even than you've seen from him so far. He's probably still frame-wise not what he can be ultimately. Jared Ivey is another name I want you to pay attention to. This is an edge rusher type. He was at Georgia Tech. I assume, unless you were diehard Georgia Tech fan last year, you probably don't know a lot about him. In 2021, played 11 games. He had 40 tackles, 1.5 sacks. Everyone's talking about Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. Everyone's talking about Zach Evans. We are too. I'm high on both of them. So those are the most high-profile portal guys that Ole Miss got. Jared Ivey is a big-time get, but he's on the defensive side. He's out of Georgia Tech. He's an edge rusher. Not a household name. He is a guy, though, that in the NFL circles and the scouting circles, a lot of folks already are looking at, and they're saying, okay, still need to see a lot, but the intangibles, the characteristics, the critical traits, they're all there. He's 6'6", he's 225, he's a junior, so he's played some ball. He is versatile. You know, they've got new coordinators there, and Chris Partridge is the new defensive coordinator at Ole Miss. Versatility, the name of the game with him, and it just so happens to be what Jared Ivey gives you. Can do a lot of things in a lot of different looks for you. So Jared Ivey at Ole Miss, I think, is a name to watch. And also Montrell Johnson is a running back at Florida. Montrell Johnson was at Louisiana with Billy Napier. He's coming over just like Billy Napier is to Florida. He was Sun Belt Freshman of the Year at running back. Napier is very comfortable with him. And if you watch the spring game, you know, there was a lot of running. There will be a lot of running the ball for Florida this year. But also, if you look at tailback, just look at the running back position for Florida. You've got Lingard, you got Wright, you got DeMarcus Bowman there. I don't know who the feature back is. They've all had injury concerns too, all 3 of them. My guess, maybe not immediately, or maybe so, but eventually, I think Montrell Johnson can end up being the feature tailback down there. It's easy to say Billy Napier is most comfortable with him. He's the most comfortable in this system. And he's also shown the ability to be a feature back. So those are 4 names. Cameron Ward, Eric Gentry, Jared Ivey, Montrell Johnson. Those are portal sleepers that I think stand a very good chance of being integral parts of those 4 teams come this fall.